The Steelers are sending a 2025 second-round pick to the Seattle Seahawks in exchange for wide receiver DK Metcalf. And not only did the Steelers make the trade for DK Metcalf, the Steelers signed him to a 5-year, $150 million deal. So DK Metcalf is going to be around. No wondering, hey, did they make the deal and what's going to happen after this, after, he's here. DK is in town and he's going to be around. So now, the Steelers make a move for a true number one wide receiver early in free agency, letting how they viewing it. And George Pickens, what's going to happen with George Pickens? No one knows. But for the moment, man, this is a great destination for a free agent quarterback. If you look at the wide receiver situation now with DK Metcalf on the other side of George Pickens, man, you got Sam Darnold, all these, other quarterbacks in free agency. Now they looking at the Steelers offense like, man, I get to throw to George Pickens and Metcalf. Jalen Warren running back, Pat Freiermuth and things. So, you can say what you want about George Pickens maybe not being a true number one, but we do know DK Metcalf is a true number one wide receiver, and the Steelers got him early in free agency. Didn't let things, didn't wait for the clearance rack, on the receivers and things, and wasn't just talk. It was out there. The Steelers were interested in things, and sources say, hey, teams were interested in DK. The Steelers made a call. They were one of the teams to make the call, and they pulled the trigger. So now the question is, with the Steelers, what do you do with George Pickens now that you have DK Metcalf and $150 million deal for 5 years? George Pickens, Omar Khan said that they want to get something done with George Pickens as well. So will the Steelers tie up a lot of money in two receivers? 150 for DK. You're looking at around 100 or so for George Pickens if you're going to sign him. He's talented as well, but for the moment, man, you just gotta enjoy the George Pickens DK Metcalf combo that you see right there, man. And if you get a year out of that, that can be dangerous. Like I said, with the running game and the tight end. So, man, Artie Smith, man, it's time to go to work. You pick up a true number one weapon in DK Metcalf. Instant increase in instant upgrade in your wide receiver room. You needed to boost the room, and you boosted in a big way with a true number one wide receiver. So now for the Steelers, man, what else? You get DK Metcalf, and now the fans starting to, okay, now that was a move. It wasn't just any move. It wasn't the Allen Robinsons and, the stuff like that the Steelers made at the wide receiver, the Mike Williams and things. No, it's DK Metcalf. True number one, instant upgrade to your offense. And you got to keep going if you're the Steelers. Keep stacking, keep stacking on a free agency. So far, so good. Nothing negative to go about it. Some people may say, hey, man, the contract and things, you got other things to do. 150, in DK, man. But that's just what it takes. You got to give up. You got to give to get. You give up a second round and you give him the contract. And now you get a guy coming in motivated to play. We all know the work that DK Metcalf put in the league, So, and the Steelers didn't hesitate when it was time. So you got to give Omar Khan credit for that. Not waiting around, and you see what happened with the Brandon Ayuk things. The longer things went, and it never happened. So you get things done early and often, and here we go. So the Steelers sending a second round pick, 2025. So that's this year's pick. This year's pick is DK Metcalf. So the Steelers drafted a wide receiver in the second round this year, in the name of DK Metcalf. So with the Steelers draft another wide receiver because you still have cornerback, defensive line, other holes to fill. You say, hey, maybe later in the draft, you may try to take a shot on another wide receiver, but you have a second round pick invested in DK Metcalf. That's this year, 2025. So maybe there's a plan for George Pickens. You know, it may keep both receivers on the hook until they get a quarterback, and then hey, something may happen with George. Who knows, to try to get a pick or two back. But that can happen. But as of right now, the Steelers have, DK Metcalf and George Pickens. So let me know what you guys think about the trade. How did the Steelers do? I'm pretty sure it's hard to find any Steeler fan angry about this trade. The only thing, like I said, that you could be angry about is the money. 150 million, to a wide receiver if you had anything to say. But like I said, with a talent like DK Metcalf in the market, the way things was going, so what are you going to do? If you want to secure the player and make sure he's coming to you, you have to pay. Sometimes the Steelers had a reputation of being cheap and not wanting to pay, and being the last team in the mix and things like that. But now they reverse course, come out swinging, and make it happen first thing in free agency, and getting best wide receiver that they can get in the wide receiver market. So second round pick goes to the Seattle Seahawks to acquire wide receiver DK Metcalf. And now the Steelers are looking, is on a rise as far as wide receivers go. George Pickens, DK Metcalf at the time. Who knows what's going to happen with George Pickens? We'll just have to see what goes on. Free agency is early, and it's on. Omar Khan striking early. And we'll have to see the other moves that the Steelers make. But so far, so good. And we'll have to see what else happens. So thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get all the new videos. And until next time.